postgraduate ecosystems, the supervisions, the RP, then thesis submission, viva voce, thesis correction and verification, and thesis result, endorsement, and awards. Okay, as the introduction, so as you know, okay, this module, that means this module number 1 was developed by the IPSIS, okay, to assist the administrative and supervisors to in understanding the process and procedure of postgraduate research degrees. Okay, so by the end of the sessions, okay, participant, which is you, and should be able to understand the nature of postgraduate studies in UiTM, and then you should be able to understand the roles of student, and then you should be able to familiarize with the process and procedure involving the research student in UiTM. Okay, so as the introduction, so this is the IPSIS management team. So we lead by our deans. Okay, we have Dean, Prof. Insinyur Dr. Zuhaina Zakaria, and then we have Deputy Deans and Associate Professor Dr. Siti Farhana Zakaria, and then we have 4 heads. In IPSIS, we have 4 heads. Okay, so we have heads of graduate studies for recruitment and admissions, and then academics. Okay, this is me. And then we have the strategic planning and academic quality. And then we have Dr. Mozana as the academic development, resources, and students. And then we support by 1 coordinator, okay, Andi the recruitment and admissions. And then we have 2 support admin staff and senior assistant registrar. Okay, first one, Madam Zuraini, okay, so for the admin, and then Miss Asmiza for the academic matters. All right, so for the academic matters, okay, this is my team, okay, led by me, and then we have the senior assistant registrar, and then we have the senior executive officer, Madam Nadia Tol, and then we have around 2 senior clerks, Madam Juria and Madam Hanisa, and then we have 3 clerks. So for the clerks that in charge in the academic status, okay, Ms. Yusaila, and then for the Senate letter, and if you have any inquiries later, and once you graduate, okay, you need to acquire the Senate letter, so you may ask Madam Mardia, and then for the general matters, you may ask the Madam Zainul Shakira. Okay, so what is GOT? Okay, so GOT, IGOT or GOT, okay, is the percentage of the full-time students who registered in a specific cohort year and complete their studies before or on time of the study. Okay, so this is the definition of GOT. That means when you enroll in the specific cohort, and then we have predict, okay, how many years you should graduate, and then you have complete before or on the time given. Okay, so that's the GOT status. So why we need this GOT? Okay, because the lower percentage of the GOT shows, okay, many students unable to complete on time. So it will increase the university operational cost. Okay, that's the why we need to increase the percentage of GOT in order to reduce the university's operational cost. Okay, so these are the what we call the achievement, okay, for the GOT, okay, for the master and PhD. Okay, for the first graph, okay, shows the PhD, okay. So if you can look at the graph, okay, it shows the undulated, what we call the undulated patterns. Okay, so in 2020, in the COVID era, okay, we achieved around 36% of GOT. That's mean the highest one, okay, from since 2009. Okay, so the highest one during COVID because everyone focused on their study, so they able to graduate on time. And then the next year after the COVID, okay, 2021, so almost same, 34%, 34%. Okay, and then once the COVID already okay settled down, okay, so the percentage has been decreased to 28%. Okay, so last year we only achieved 19%. Okay, so this is the PhD, GOT rate for PhD. So if you look at the GOT rate for the master, okay, so as I mentioned, okay, in COVID area, so we achieved the highest numbers lah, 19%. So it decreased until last year. Okay, so we hope we can increase the GOT rates in order to reduce the university's operational course. So that's why this briefing, okay, will guide you how you're going to achieve the GOT. So you need to start right now in order for you to achieve GOT. Okay, the values means the percentage. All right. So the duration of study, when we said about GOT, everything, so this is duration of study. I'm sure all of you already know. Okay, so you only focus on the column of the research only. Okay, the master degree is about 2 to 8 semesters. So that means the minimum you can graduate is 2 semesters, around 1 year, and then the maximum is 4 years or 8 semesters. Okay, if you want to achieve the GOT, okay, so um, you need to graduate around 2 years, okay, and then except for the built environment, the medicine, and the dentistry, okay, the these three faculties around 3 years in order to achieve the GOT. So the maximum is 8 years. Okay, most of you should, if you do the master degree, you should, in order for you to get GOT, you should graduate before 2 years. That means 4 semesters. All right. So except for the built environment, medicine, and dentistry, okay, it's 3 years. Okay. For the doctoral degree, same. Okay. Either full time or part time is same. Okay, the minimum is 5 semesters, and then the research is, and then the maximum is 14 semesters. Okay, same as the before. Okay, for the GOT status for the doctoral degree, for all program is around 4 years. Okay, but except for the built environment, dentistry, and medicine, okay, it's 5 years. Okay, so that's how you're going to get the GOT. Okay, so please bear in your mind. So this is the maximum duration of study for the master degree and the doctoral degree. If you exceed the limits, so that means you need to appeal for the reinstate as a student. Okay, so this is UiTM postgraduate ecosystem. So this is overall. Okay, so all of you has complete this task. Okay, the application you have apply, and then you have registered as students, and then some of you have appointed the supervisor. Okay, so some of you still searching your supervisor. Okay, so please make sure before end of this semester, that means before July, so before, because you need to submit the research progress by 1st of July. So that means you need to have the supervisor right now in order for them to evaluate you for the first semester. Okay, appointment of this supervisor. So this appointment can be done using the UP-Track system. Okay, we have the UP-Track system. You can nominate your supervisor there, and then the appointment, everything's in UP-Track system. And then once you have the supervisor, and then you do the research, and then you can proceed with the defense of research proposal. This is DRP. Okay, so for the master degree, you should complete the RP within 6 months. And then for the PhD full time, you should complete within 1 year. Okay, if you are PhD part time, and then you can complete 1.5 years. Okay. So once you complete the DRP, okay, let's say you pass the DRP, and then you do the research, and then you fulfill all the objective, and then once you complete 90%, you can submit notice of intention to submit thesis. Okay, so there are requirement. So the requirement is your thesis must be complete 90%, and then plagiarism below than 30%, and then we require you to submit the abstract and the DTOC everything. Okay, during the intention submit. And then, of course, your supervisor need to nominate your examiners in order to assess your thesis. Okay, at this stage. So from appointment of supervisor until notice of intention to submit thesis, we are using UP-Track system. Okay, so this is appointment of examiners. Okay, during the notice of thesis submission, and then thesis submission. Okay, thesis submission means you have complete 100%. Your thesis has 100% completed. Okay, so then you can submit. Of course, the requirement 100%, and then 30% similarity index, and then you have fulfilled the requirement and the publication requirement. And for the master, at least one publication, and then for the PhD, the doctoral degree is 2 publications. Okay, then your thesis will send out to the examiners, and then the moderator at the faculty or head of postgraduate office will receive the report from the examiners, and then the moderator at the faculty will conduct the viva, okay, and then you attend the viva, and then you get the result, and then you do the thesis correction, okay. Once you complete the thesis correction, and then you do the format checking, okay, the format checking at IPSIS, okay, and then once you complete the format checking and then you pass all the format checking at the IPSIS, and then we will send your name to Senet. Okay, and then once your name has been confirmed at the Senet, and then we will send your name to the convocation center. All right, so this is timeline for GOT. Okay, so this is infographics. Okay, first you look for the master program. Okay, so once from the application registration to the RP, it's 6 months. Okay, so actually from the registration date, okay, we are giving only 1 month for you to find the supervisor or to nominate your supervisor via the UPTrack system. And then the faculty will process everything until the appointment of supervisor at the university level. Okay, so this is 6 months. You should do it within 6 months. Okay, if you PhD, so you should complete in 12 months. Okay, and then from the DRP and to the thesis submitted, okay, in order for you to get the GOT, you should complete. So that means you should complete your study within 12 months. Okay, 12 months means you DRP, then you complete ITS, and then you have nominated the examiner, and then you submit the thesis. Means you have complete 100%. The thesis submitted means you have complete your thesis 100%. Okay, so 12 months. If in for the master degree, and then for the PhD degree, you should complete within 24 months. Okay, for you to get the GOT. Okay, so because the notice examiners, the appointment of examiners will take approximately 3 months to complete. Okay, and then from the thesis submitted to the thesis report, we are giving actually 6 weeks to examiner to evaluate your thesis. Okay, 6 weeks, and then maybe some examiners has quite hectic schedule, then we can have give the maximum on up to 3 months only. Okay, from the thesis report and to the thesis corrected is 1 month. Okay, so the correction done by you. So, but it depends on your result, on your rank. Okay, this is corrected, and then this is corrected to this formatted is 1 month. Okay, and then to this format and for the this format meant this is checking. So this is formatted to the Senet within 1 month. And if you plus the duration, you can get around 2 years. That's mean 24 months for the master degree, and then 36 months for the 48 months for the PhD doctoral degree. Okay, if you plan to do the conversions, okay, if you are full-time students, you need to do within 12 months from your date of registration. Okay, 12 months you need to apply. So you need to look back what is the requirement. And later I will have the slide shows what are the requirement in order for you to convert from master degree to PhD degree. And then if you are part-time, you are given 24 months to convert. Okay, so this is infographic. Later, once you get the slide, you can study about the time GOT. Okay, so this is we also have developed what we call this is like the program and for you to assist you to plan for the GOT. Okay, so you just simply enter your student ID. Okay, so then once you enter your student ID, you click enter, and then the program will appear your name and your program and supervisor, everything. So you need to look at the date here. So this is only the timeline for the visualization and the timeline. This is the time you should follow. And for example, once you enter your name, and then you will give literature review. So you should complete by 27th of February. And then the end date is completed 26th of August. You start at 27th of February, and then you should end at 26th of August. And then research proposal, okay, 27th of February. Okay, still, you can search, you can read here. then methodology, thesis writing. And you should begin at 29th of August, and then and 26th of August, and it's about 2 years. And then thesis examinations, okay, from August to November, and then thesis correction from November to February. Okay, and then research, different research proposal, when you should do the research, different research proposal, and then when you should achieve objective number 1, objective number 2, 3, if applicable, and then thesis submitted, when you should submit your thesis, and then when you should do the bio-bose, and then when you should complete your study in order to get the GOT. Okay, let me show the program. Wait. Okay, so these are the program. Okay, so these are the program, the Excel. So you can get this program from your head of postgraduate office. Okay, means your KPPS at your faculty or college. And you can simply ask GOT dashboard from them. Okay. Okay, so this is GOT dashboard. Okay. So anyone would like to share their student ID? So I can enter to give the example. Anyone? Okay. Okay, I have one. Let me copy. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, when you register, I think you register on June, right? For those who register after 4th of June, okay, your data not in database yet. So maybe you can get the GOT dashboard on July. Okay, so let's look at the Izzati. Yeah, Izzati is none. This is one example, only one example. All right. So from the GOT dashboard, you can simply enter your student ID, and then we will provide the details. Okay, so this is only visualization, the timeline only for you to visualize. The specific date you should look at here. Okay, let me zoom in. I think small. Okay, so okay, so you look here. Okay, so you should start the literature review at, because you register at 1st of April. Okay, and then you should complete your literature review by 30th of September 2027. Okay, when you do, you should do your this writing. Okay, 1st of October 2025. Okay, until 30th of September 2027. And then thesis examinations. Okay, when you should do the DRP. Okay, if you plan to get GOT, you should do the DRP on 1st of October 2025. You can look here. Okay, on the date. And then when you should submit your thesis and for you to get the GOT. Okay, it's about 30th of September 2027. Okay, when you meet this date, inshallah, and you will get the GOT, because you need to get the Senate letter by 2nd of April 2028 or 1st of April 2028, and for you to get the GOT status. Alright, so this is an example. You can get the program from the head of postgraduate office at your faculty or college. Then you can simply play around with the timeline. So please don't look here. Don't look. This is only to visualize. You look at the date, the specific date at the bottom. Alright, so let's continue. Okay, so UiTM postgraduate system. Okay, so these are the relevant system, and we have the UiTM in order to support and for the postgraduate program and postgraduate studies. So we have the student information management system. So this is SIM. So it only can be accessed by the lecturer and the administrative staff. And then my ATP. Okay, this is also for the admin and staff and the expertise. Okay, if many of you are still searching, your potential supervisor, or maybe you searching for the co-supervisor, you can simply click here. Okay, let me click to show the example. Okay. Oh, sorry, you cannot see My screen, right? Okay. Okay, this is your ITM expert. You can search the expert here. Okay, you can search by list of oppressor. Simply, and you click of the list of oppressor, you can find. Okay, let's say you need to search the expert. Everyone can see my screen, right? You ITM expert. Okay, you can search by name, by area of expertise or faculty. Okay, let's say you search name. Okay, search name. Let's say my name kan. Okay, then you search. You need to find the potential co-supervisor kan. Alright, so there are many terrorism here. Okay, you look, and which one is related lah. For example, the terrorism from the ASIS, for example. Okay, I'm from the College Pengajian Malam Bina. Okay, let's say the terrorism you means from the potential supervisor from the ASIS. You can look his profile here. Okay, you can look, the hash index, the Scopper, WS, and then the personal details. Okay, you can look here whether it's related with your study or not. Okay, so you look at the divisions and then expertise, and then you can find which lecturer can be your potential co-supervisor or the main supervisor. You can simply play around with the UiTM expert here. All right, this is how to find the supervisor in UiTM. All right, and then UP-Track. Okay, UP-Track, I believe all of you have access the UP-Track for in the nomination of supervisors. Okay, please access the UP-Track, and then the IPSIS. I think all of you have seen the UP-Track, right? Okay, so let me show the UP-Track. Okay, this is UP-Track. You can log in using the student ID. So this is the same username and password with the student portal, and you can use, and you click the student, and then you can simply enter your username and password from the student portal. It's the same username and password, but with the student portal. All right, and then we have the IPSIS and IPSIS website. Okay, so the https and ipsis.uitm.edu.my, and then we have also the Facebook of IPSIS, and then we also have the official YouTube of IPSIS. All right, so this is UP-Track. So in UP-Track, actually, we're going to develop 5 modules. Okay, right now we have complete the module number 1, module number 2, module number 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so module number 4 still under development. Module number 5 still under development. So this one, the module number 5, we might use on the next semester. Okay, and this is evaluation also we plan to use by next semester. And these 2 modules, the last 2 modules, may still under development, and then we complete by the end, maybe by the end of this year. All right, so please, you do the nomination of supervisor via UP-Track, and then once maybe 6 months later, 1 year later, you can do the RP process within via the UP-Track, and then maybe 1 year and 2 years later, you do the intention to submit the examiner nomination. Okay, it's module number 3. Okay, and then the evaluation and research progress. So the research progress, you need to fill up every semester because this will determine your status as the active student or non-active student. So the research progress you need to submit every semester. So right now we're going to use the manual form. Maybe the next semester we will use the UP-Track for the research progress submission. Okay, so this is the dashboard of the UP-Track. As I mentioned, you can log in and you can access the UP-Track using the student ID. Okay, so this is the dashboard and the screen for the nomination of supervisor. It's simple, and you just enter your research title, and then you attach your brief research proposal, and then you can search the main supervisor and the faculty, and then the name of the supervisors, the main supervisor, and then if you have the co, then you can appoint. Okay, co 1, co 2, and co 3. Okay, let's say your co-supervisor outside UiTM, and then you can invite them as the external supervisor first, and then you can nominate them. Okay, because you need to invite them first because they need to get the access from the UP track. Okay, once you invite them, so we required you enter their name and then the full name, the first name, surname, and the email address, and then the system will send to the potential external supervisor. So they need to complete everything, maybe some particular on the CV, everything, and the expertise. And then once their name in our database, and then you can nominate them. Okay, you can nominate them from here. Okay, as the co-supervisor. Okay, so we have provide the guideline how to nominate your supervisor. So we have provide the guideline at the EPSIS website. And you can go to the EPSIS website and then form and download. And then you scroll down, you can find the manual how to nominate your supervisor, even from the outside of the supervisor, outside UITM. Okay, so the academic governance and for the postgraduate studies. So this is IPSIS, so we lead by the Dean, Deputy Dean, and we have the Head of Graduate Studies, and then Center for Postgraduate Office. So this is Head of Postgraduate Studies. So this number 2 is at your faculty or college level. So we call as the Head of Postgraduate Studies, in charge on the Center for Postgraduate Studies. And then committees, and we have the JCAP. So this means the academic committee and the postgraduate academic committee at the faculty or college level. And then we have the academic faculty academic committee at the faculty level. And then we have the academic and in the academic assessment at the university level. This is JKIPA, JCAP, JAF, JKIPA. And then we have the highest one is SENET for the endorsement. Okay, so as the research student, okay, before you enter before you submit for the RP, so you need to fulfill these two requirements. For the master degree, you need to attend and complete, attend the IPSIS Research Skill Seminar. So this is this IPSIS Research Skill Seminar. So it's 2 days. We have around 8 modules. Okay, so as for the PhD, you need to attend 2 seminar. First is IPSIS Research Skill Seminar, and then the second one is Training in Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Exploration, Thai Square program. It's about 4 days. So both seminars, both programs are conducted virtually, online platform, right? Right now, Okay, so the student status. So program type, we have research, coursework, research, and coursework. So we have research coursework, and then we have research plus coursework. So research plus coursework means mixed mode. So there are 3 types of the research, the mixed mode program. We have the 30% academic, 30% theory, 70% research, and then we have 40% theory, 60% research, and then we have 50% theory, 50% research. So this is the 3 types of the mixed mode. Okay, right now you are registered as the research student, research degree student. Okay, and then the program level, we have the master and PhD, and then we offer in the full-time and part-time. Okay, so this is student academic applications. So the changes, if you need to change the campus, if you need to change the mode, full-time or part-time, or you need to change the program, or you need to change the faculty, okay, you can submit the application form at the faculty and at the postgraduate studies office. Okay, so they will approve your application, and then the highest level of academic faculty committee will endorse your application. So JCAPS and JAF means at the faculty or college level only. No need to bring up to the university level. Okay, if you need to apply for the special leave or you need to suspension from the study, so TG, so that means also you need to submit at the faculty. Okay, if you need to withdraw your study, also you need to submit at the faculty. And then if you need to submit the different research proposal, so it's also approved by the faculty and endorsed by faculty. And then if you need to appeal for continuation, okay, like say you have get status gugur taraf and you dismiss, okay, or you dismiss this semester. So next semester, you need to apply the RMP and for you to continue your study. And so this is appeal for continuation of study. So it's also in the JCAP and JA at the faculty level. And then if you need to apply appeal for continuation of study but exceed your maximum study or the previous semesters. Okay, so you need to get the approval or endorsement until the Senate level. Okay, same with the appeal for extension for study. So this is until the Senate level. Okay, for the conversion, okay, conversion from masters to PhD. So it's also you need to submit to the faculty level and then need to endorse until the Senate level. Okay, so don't worry, no worries. This is only guideline for you. Okay, so anything you can refer to the moderator or head of postgraduate studies at your faculty or college. All right. Okay. So this is if you plan to convert your master degree to PhD. Okay. Right now, maybe you register as the master degree program. Okay. Then you think your research can be expanded up to the PhD degree. So these are the requirement. Okay. First, of course, you need to complete DRP first. You need to complete the DRP first. And then once you complete the DRP, and then you need to fulfill this one. Okay, so you need to apply the conversion, and that means you need to apply. That means you need to fill up the form first. Okay, within 12 months from the date of registration for the full-time students. If you are the part-time student, okay, we allow until 24 months. Please make sure if you plan, let's say you register on the 1st April of 2024, that means you need to apply and the last date is about 30th of March 2025. Exceed one day, we can accept your application. So please make sure if you think you can convert your master degree to PhD degree, so please complete your DRP within 6 months, and then maybe the next month or the next 2 months, you can submit the conversion forms. You can apply the conversions. And then what are the requirements? Okay, first, your research work has been accepted to be presented at least one seminar or conference recognized by the faculty within the study duration. Or your research has been submitted at least one index publication. First one, you have accepted as the oral presenter at any conference, which must be recognized by the faculty or college. Or your research has been submitted. That means you have submitted your work at any index publication. Index publication means index by Scopus, ERA, WOS, or MySet. Okay, or listed journals in the appendix number 2 lah. Alright, so you must become the main author. If you are co-author, we can accept your applications because you didn't fulfill the requirement. So you must become the main author. So please make sure all the publication you done in the duration of study, you are as the main author. So your supervisor can become the corresponding author. You must be the first or main author for the publications. So we can count your publication. Okay, the student research outcome and doctoral program research proposal will be accessed by 2 expert assessors in the same area. So the faculty will appoint maybe one from the UiTM and then one from the outside of UiTM. So, but both of them must be expert in your research area, and then you must pass the assessment. Okay, if you didn't pass you didn't fulfill all any criteria, so your application might be rejected lah. Okay, so once let's say you have passed and then you have convert to the PhD degree, then within 1 year you are going to be assessed by the another panels to make sure your progress on track. Okay, so within 1 year after you convert, so your head of postgraduate studies, okay, will conduct the continuous monitoring for you. Okay, if you have failed at the assessment, and then your PhD status will be revoked to the master degree. Okay, so bear in your mind. Alright, so this is the process. Okay, the students submit the application within stipulated time. Okay, so the full time is 12 months, the part time is 24th month, and then supervisor need to support, must support the application first, and then the JCAPs mean the faculty will appoint 2 examiners and 2 assessors to evaluate your research proposal, and then JKPA will approve. Okay, then the Senate will endorse. Okay, so this is exam status. We have the postgraduate office. The SM means in progress. AM means amaran 1 is first reminder, and then AM2 second reminder, AM3 third reminder. Okay, for the master degree only until up to AM2. For the PhD degree and up to AM3. Okay, so D10 means dismiss. Dismiss. So when we give the dismiss to the student, if the progress report status AM2 for master. Let's say last semester, let's say this semester, 1st of July, your supervisor give AM1 to you. That means first reminder. If you are master degree, and then next semester on October, your supervisor also give AM2. That means AM. AM2. That's second reminder. So automatically the system will change AM2 to D10. That means you dismiss on the October. Okay. Okay. So for the PhD, it's up to third reminder. The master only 2 reminder, and then we dismiss you. And then for the PhD degree, up to third reminder. Okay. On the third reminder, we will convert AM3 to D10 for the PhD only. Okay. We also give the D10 to the student who does not submit progress report. For example, this semester, on the 1st of July, this is a due date for the progress report submission. If you didn't submit before 1st of July, okay, then we will give D10. This means you dismiss. Okay? Or the D10 we will give to you if you fail on the third time of DRP. That means you get result 5, the proposal rejected. Right now we have 5 result. Okay, if your proposal rejected, then the third time, that means first one, you get the rejected, and then second one you get rejected. The third one you also get rejected by the panel. That's why that means we give you D10. Okay, D11 we give status if you exceed the maximum duration. If for the master degree, if you exceed 8 semester, for the PhD degree, if you exceed 14 semester. Okay, so they will give you D10, D11. Let's say for the master degree, on the 8th semester, we give you D11 because end of the 8th semester, you still didn't complete your thesis. That means you didn't do any thesis submission. Then we give you D11. Okay, same with the PhD. We give the D11 on the 14th semester. Okay, the X mean we approve the appeal. That means once you dismiss and then you do the appeal, and then we approve the appeal, so we give X1. Okay, DV means you fail in Viva or you didn't submit the thesis within the stipulated time. Okay, we will explain later. And then CK means special leave. TG means deferment of academic semester. And then TM means completed. And then APC means excellent research award. Maybe some of you will completed with the excellent research award. Okay, dismissal from the study. So this is dismissed. If you fail to pay the tuition fee, and then you will get GT. That means gugur taraf. Okay, so you will dismiss from the university. And then if you fail to submit the progress report, you get D10, dismissed. And then you fail third time in the defense research proposal, D10. And then you obtain AM2 for master, AM3 for PhD, you get D10, dismissed. Exceed maximum duration, D11. And then fail in Viva, DV. And then does not submit the thesis outbound within stipulated time, also get DV. Okay, so the supervision. Okay, appointment of supervisor. So as I mentioned, maybe most of you have the supervisor right now. Maybe some of you need to have the another co-supervisor. And you can find in your ITN expert, or you can ask your main supervisor who are the right person to become your co-supervisor. Okay, so as I mentioned, okay, all the appointment of supervisors must follow the academic rules and regulation for postgraduate, okay, in UiTM. So all of them must follow the criteria, okay? Then we can appoint them as your supervisor. So the supervisor only to assist and advise the student in design, development, and completion of research degree. So this is the role of supervisor. They only need to assist you and to advise you Okay, and then they need to guide and mentor the students so they can learn the systematic process of discovery. So this is the role of supervisor. So you don't expect your supervisor spoon feed you every time. So what to do next? What to do next? And you should propose to the supervisor. Okay, what's your plan? And then supervisor will correct will guide you what's the correct way in order to do the research. And then how to do the supervisor's nominations. Okay, so the students nominate the supervisor by repeat track, and then if the external supervisor, though they need to add the record of external supervisor, and then supervisor need to accept or register or reject or register as the external user, and then moderator need to validate and then set up the JCAP and JAV meeting, and then KBBS and need to support and activate the external user, and then JCAP needs to confirm or reject or renominate the supervisor, and then JAV need to approve or reject or renominate, and then the JKIPA need to endorse the supervisor. So the appointment of supervisor up to JKIPA level. Okay, so what's the criteria of supervisor? Okay, so as the master student, you should have at least one supervisor. That means your main supervisor. At least, at least one supervisor. Okay, for the doctoral degree, you must have at least two supervisors. Okay, so you must have one male and then another one co-supervisor. Okay, so this is at least, so the maximum is three co-supervisor. Okay, the maximum. Okay, the minimum is one supervisor for master degree and then two supervisors for doctoral degree. Okay, and then for the main supervisor, all of them must come from the UiTM academic staff. Only UiTM academic staff can become your main supervisor, not outside UiTM, only UiTM. And then for the master degree, your main supervisor, okay, they must have the degree, doctoral degree, or the supervisor have the master degree only, but he or she must have at least 5 years experience in research and teaching. Both, teacher and teaching. And also has co-supervised the master, co-supervisor as the master candidate. So that means he, his or her student and the co-supervised student has been graduated. Okay? So this is the criteria. If the supervisor only have the master degree. If doctoral degree, no problem. To become your master, to become your main supervisor for the master program. Okay, if PhD, okay, they must have the master, must have the doctoral degree with at least 2 years teaching experience and research. And teaching and research 2 years, this is minimum requirement. And then has supervised the master of doctoral research. That means must have graduated, must graduated at least at least one master or doctoral student by research program. Not by coursework, not by mixed mode. Must be research program. Okay, so this is the requirement right now. Okay, if let's say if the supervisor only have the master degree, that means he or she must have the extensive experience and in research. Okay, is required with at least 2 years teaching experience and also has supervised. That means the student has been graduated lah, has been completed as the master or doctoral in research program only. Okay, but if the supervisor only have the master and fulfill the extensive experience and then have 2 years teaching and 2 years teaching and experience and also have the experience in supervised master or doctoral research student, is also subject to the approval of University Senate. Okay, so you need the supervisor need the application or the nomination of supervisor need to go to the up to the University Senate, and then they need to get the approval endorsement from them first before you can nominate them as to become your supervisor. Okay. For the co-supervisor, for the master level, okay, for co-supervisor can become from the UiTM staff or outside UiTM. Can become the UiTM staff or the other institution or from the other agency or from the practitioner or industry player. Okay, but this is the requirement for the master degree must have the doctoral degree. Okay, kalau let's say the co-supervisor only have the master degree, he or she must have at least 1 year experience in teaching and research. Okay, a co-supervisor from industry practitioner must have at least bachelor degree and at least 5 years experience, okay, in field at the level of appropriate of the organization. Okay, so the PhD must have a doctoral degree, or the supervisor have the master degree only. Okay, and extensive experience in research is required and subject to the approval of University Senate. Same. So you need, because the if you appoint the supervisor who only have the master degree, but he or she need to supervise the PhD student, they need to get approval from the Senate first, and before you can appoint them. And then a co-supervisor from the industry practitioner must have at least a master degree and at least 10 years experience in field at level appropriate for the thesis. So you can look at the academic rules and regulation in our website. Okay, so these the other things, so you should consider this one. So your main or co-supervisor should not an intimate friends or relative of the student or of any other supervisors to avoid question of the ethical issue. So make sure the supervisor or co-supervisor that you appoint have no relationship with the intimate relationship with the you or with the supervisor, with the other supervisors. Okay, so not be currently registered as postgraduate student. Okay, let's say right now you enroll as the master program, and then your supervisor, the current supervisor, going to further study. Okay, further study. So they need to register as the postgraduate student, maybe at the or at the UK. It doesn't matter. Once they enroll as the postgrad student, so they are not qualified to become your supervisor. So you need to find the other supervisors. So bear in your mind. Okay, so if you need to change supervisor, maybe after several months, after a year, you means you feel you don't have the chemistry with the supervisor. So maybe you need to change the supervisor. Maybe to some extent, maybe you have the what we call the valid reasons. Okay, so the student can apply the change of supervisor based on the valid reasons. So the application must be through head of postgraduate office at your respective college or faculty. Okay, because the change of supervisor need to get approved from the JCAP and endorsed by the JAF. Okay, let's say if your supervisor no longer in service, okay, so the JCAP committee will propose a new supervisor related to the research area of the respective student. Okay, so as mentioned before, research progress report you need to submit every semester. Don't miss the research report, because the consequences you will get dismissed D10. So please make sure you check the academic calendar, and when you submit the progress report, and then you submit to the supervisor first, and the supervisor will submit to the head postgraduate studies at the faculty or college. So of course, before you submit progress report, you need to show some progress to your supervisor. And that's why we have the progress report, because we want you to meet the supervisor and to report everything what you have done within a semester. Okay, and then if you fail to submit, you will get the 10, and then the supervisor will evaluate the student progress, and based on whatever you have report to them, and then the supervisor will submit the report to KPPS and endorsed by the JCAP at the faculty level, and then KPPS will enter the result at the SIM system, and then you can access the progress result once the examination result has been announced. Okay, so the DRP. So this is the DRP process. Okay, so you attend the IPSIS RSS series, research skills seminars. Okay, for the PhD, you attend Thai Square program, and then you need to submit the research proposal, and then you have run. The similarity report must be below than 50%. Okay, once you complete that one, and then the supervisor will review the proposal and then validate again your similarity index. And then KPPS will endorse the proposal, and then will nominate the chairperson and panel assessors, and then conduct the DRP, and then panel assessors will evaluate the proposal, and then the chairperson, okay, will moderate the DRP and then approve the result, whatever result you get, and then JCAPS will endorse the result. Okay, so these are the results we have in the DRP. Okay, rejected, category 5. So category 1 means you accept without amendment. Category 2, this is the percentage. So category 2, accept with minimal amendment. You need to submit within 2 weeks. For the category 3, you accept with a minimal amendment, and then you submit within 1 month. And then 4th category, major amendments. you need to submit within 2 months. If 5, category 5, rejected. Okay, this is what I mentioned before. If you get 5, category 5, up to 3 times, that means you will get D10. Okay, so this one, don't ever get third time, 3 times in category 5. All right, so this is submission. So this submission, of course, you need to, before you do the this submission, you need to pass the intention to submit thesis first, and then your supervisor and you must identify the examiners, and you need to propose the potential examiners for your thesis to the faculty or college level, and then you need to submit the thesis. Once you you do the intention to submit, you have 3 months for you to submit the full thesis. Once you do the intention to submit, that means your progress has been completed 90%. And then once you complete 100%, you have 3 months from the date of intention to submit. So 3 months, you need to submit the full thesis, 100% complete. And then moderator at faculty will set the viva. And then your moderator will send out your thesis to the examiners. And then they will receive the report from the examiners. So during viva, okay, so there are chairperson will chair the session. And then the examiners, and 2 examiners, internal and external examiners, and then minute takers, in order to constitute everything, and then supervisor as the observer, and then we have the viva result at the during viva. And then after post viva, there are correction. You need to amend and you do the correction, and then duration of correction depend on your rank, and then verification by examiners. Okay, and then after that, you do the thesis formatting at the IPSIS, and then Senate meeting, and we'll send your name to the Senate meeting. And then once we get the Senate endorsement, we will determine whether you get GOT or not. Okay, so this once we get the Senate approval, then we can check whether you get GOT or not. So the GOT, okay, based on this Senate approval. So Senate date lah. Alright. So intention to submit. Okay, so this is to submit. So if you intend to submit this is, you need to submit to notice of intention to submit. So you submit along with the 400 words of abstract, and then you need to provide the table of content, and then submit the report below than 30%. So as I mentioned, ITS, intention to submit, only valid for 3 months. If over 3 months, exceed the 3 months, you need to apply new ITS. Okay, because the ITS only valid, single ITS only valid for 3 months, and for you to submit the full thesis. Okay, the notice will be null or void if the full thesis submission is not submitted within the stipulated time, which is 3 months. Okay, intention to submit. Okay, the student need to submit the turning in, and then submit the draft and 90% complete, and then supervisor check the draft, and then nominate the examiners and then validate. Okay, below than 30%, and then KPS will nominate support the nomination. So admin at the faculty level, postgraduate office, okay, will arrange a JCAP and JAF meeting, and then JCAP will support the nomination, and then JAF will approve the nomination, and then JKIPA will endorse the nomination of the examiners. So the examiners that you appoint and you and the supervisor appoint will endorse until the up to JKIPA level. JKIPA means at university level. Okay, TC examiner. Okay, what's the role to examine thesis? Why we need TC examiner? In order to examine your thesis. Okay, and then submit a report. Once they have gone through your thesis and they read everything, and then they need to write the report, and then he or she need to be and also need expected to attend your viva voce. And then grade K and consideration must be taken before you and the supervisor select the examiners, because we need the quality. Okay, so we need to the examiners must be credible in order for us to make sure the quality the thesis that you produce achieve the high quality. Okay, general criteria for the examiners. Okay, so must have minimum qualification or no less than supervisors. That means if your supervisor have PhD, the examiner also must have the PhD, not below than your supervisor. Okay, so if your supervisor is have the PhD, your examiner cannot only have the master degree. They must have the PhD. Okay, examiner without the qualification, of course, also can, but we need to subject to the approval of JAF. Because we need to look back the extensive experience on the teaching and research of the examiners that have the less qualification from the supervisor. Okay, should have a doctorate degree or equivalent academic professional accreditation expertise experience in research discipline. So and then must have proven substantial academic and professional knowledge. Okay, so we will once your supervisor nominate examiner. So this is the task of the JCAPS at the faculty. Okay, so they will look at their CV, at their examiner CV, and then they will decide whether this examiner is appropriate for in order to evaluate your thesis or not. Okay, so they look at all the documents that provided by the examiners. Okay, of course, the examiner not a postgraduate of a student at any institution all over the world. Okay, so that means the status cannot be the postgraduate student. And then the same examiner should not be appointed and to read two more theses from the same supervisor at the same time. Okay, at the same time, the one examiner cannot accept more than two or more theses from the same supervisors. And then the examiner criteria and for the PhD, okay, examiner, okay, of the doctorate student must have at least doctorate degree or equivalent academic or professional credential. Okay, the external examiner for doctoral thesis must have experience in relevant field, experience in doctoral supervision, and have examined at least one doctoral degree. Okay, the external. The internal only have examined, so must come from the usually comes from the UiTM, except for some program does not have the expertise. But the requirement only they must have at least have experience in doctoral supervision and have examined one master degree. And for the external, must have examined one doctoral thesis. But for the internal, only examine one master degree. But they also must have the experience in doctoral supervision. Okay, for the master, examiner for the master should have at least master degree or equivalent, academic and professional credential, and then external examiner for the master thesis must have extensive experience in relevant field and have at least read one master thesis. Okay, for the internal must have experience. So no need to experience in master in thesis evaluation, and must have the experience in relevant field. Okay, so the examiner should not. So these are the things. So should not provide the student with any formal guidance. Okay, so if he or she have provide the formal guidance or content or structure of the thesis, though they are not qualified to become your examiner. Okay, so make sure the examiner does not have relationship with you, does not provide any guidance, formal guidance to you. And then the examiner also should not be the student collaborator. That means maybe they become your co-author or become your co-researcher on the same research. Okay, they cannot become your examiners. Okay, because it's related with your thesis. Anything related with thesis, they cannot involve as the examiners. Including the publication. If he or she has become at least one co-author within your duration of study, so they are not qualified to become your examiner. So the examiner also should not be your close family member. Your uncle, your auntie, of course your parents, your sibling, they cannot become your examiners. Or your in-law, so cannot. Anything related with the family relationship, they cannot become your examiners. And then assessors, there should not be assessors for the conversion. If maybe the panel has become the assessors during your conversion from the master to doctoral degree, okay, they are not qualified to become your examiners. And then have graduated at least 2 years. Okay, should not be has graduated. So that means if the examiners, okay, maybe they graduated from the same supervision and from your same supervisor. So they must more than 2 years. If less than 2 years, they not allowed to become your examiner. Okay, role examiner, they need to submit a report within 1 week before Viva Voce, and then they need to attend the Viva Voce, and then possibility reappointment in case of reviva. Maybe they get their rank 4, so maybe reviva, so then maybe we need to reappoint them again. So JAF will have to reappointment new examiner if they refuse to reappoint for the reviva, and then no, not available to examiner student. Maybe during you appoint them as the examiner, they healthy, and then once they receive the thesis, maybe they have the health issue, and we have the medical reason, or they has been retired, or they have the sabbatical leave. So that's why the JAF need to appoint a new examiner to read your thesis. Okay, role of student, of course, you need to attend the viva, and then you present and defend the thesis, and then demonstrate. So the examiner will ask all the fundamental knowledge. Then you need to define everything to show your competencies level, and then you need to avoid any form of contact to examiner prior to the viva voce until you submit the correction actually, and you're not allowed to contact with the examiner. Okay, so this is the duration thesis submission to viva voce. So the max duration we give around 10 weeks. If you submit the thesis and then until the viva, so we allow maximum 10 weeks. Thesis submission to set the viva 1 week, and then send out to the examiner 1 week, and then follow up with the examiner 1 week, and then reminder to examiner 2 weeks, reminder to examiner 2 weeks, final reminder 1 week, and then report received from examiner 1 week, viva voce 1 week. So the ideal is only 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 2, 3, 4 weeks extra for the reminder only. Okay, so the ideally only 6 weeks we give to the examiner to submit the reports and for the viva voce. Okay, so the maximum only take 10 weeks. Okay, so these are publication requirement. Okay, I'm sure all of you have maybe read the form or read the regulation. So this is the publication requirement. If you are do the master by research, so you need to have at least 1 index publication accepted as main or corresponding author. You must become the main or first author. And most of the cases, the supervisor might become the corresponding author. Okay, so index main accepted at the publisher level. Okay, accepted. Let's say accepted means at the publisher level. Okay, let's say you submit at the index publication consists of proceeding or journals. Okay, let's say you submit journal. Okay, straightforward. Journals, of course, must be accepted by the publisher. The conference also, if only accepted by organizer, we do not accept the acceptance from the organizer. We need the acceptance letter from the publisher. Okay, so bear in your mind. So index mean index, Scopus, WS, ERA, MySite, or journal listed. So journal listed, you can look here. So you can look this one on our form. Okay, via the IPSIS website. Okay, for the PhD research, you must have 2 index publication with at least 1 must be published. And then what about the other one? Must be accepted. Okay, so the student must be the main or corresponding author for all publication. Okay, so 2 index publication, both of them you must become the main or first author. So your supervisor might become your corresponding author. Okay, 1 must be published, and another one has been accepted by the publisher. Okay, so same things. Index by Scopus, WS, ERA. So these are the journal listed. Okay, so this list has been endorsed by the Senate. So this we can accept. Okay, other than this list, we cannot accept to become your publication requirement. Okay, so if your journals or proceeding has been Scopus, so we can accept. I mean this list not in this 4 index website. Okay, so this is outside of the 4 indexing. Okay, so we can accept this one because this has been endorsed. So the other journals that you submit and proceeding, so must be Scopus Index, WS, ERA, and MySite. Alright, so viva voce. So examinations by the panels of examiners. Okay, so of course, you have been examined by the examiners, and the student to defend and present. Okay, and then of course we have a lot quick Q&A session on the viva voce, and then the chairperson and the panels will decide on the decision, and then they will give the suggestion for improvement and corrections. Okay, so during viva voce committee, okay, so we have the dean. Okay, the chairperson usually comes from the dean. They at least associate professor with PhD. And then examiners, external, internal. Okay, so these are the requirement. At least 2 examiners, one internal and 1 external. And then student attend, present, and defend. And then minute takers constitute all the important facts. So minute takers will assist the chairperson. Okay, not interrupt during Viva session. And then they need to verify whatever they constitute with the chairperson before they become the minutes of Viva Voce. And the supervisor are invited only as an observer and cannot interrupt the Viva Voce. Okay, result of the Viva Voce, so same as the RP. The RP have 5. So for the Viva Voce also we have 5. Rank, we have 1 accepted without correction. And rank 2A, minor correction 1 month. Rank 2B, minor correction 3 months. Rank 3, major correction 9 months. Rank 4, re-examination 12 months. And then rank 5, fail. Okay. So category 1, of course, the student pass Viva Voce and for the master or doctor degree without correction. So they need to submit for the format checking within 2 weeks to the IPSIS. Okay. And then 2 weeks to the IPSIS for the format checking. And then to be listed in the Senate list. And then 2B, pass with minor correction. Okay, and then student pass the Viva Voce subject to the minimal correction. And then they need to submit to the IPSIS 1 month. And then they need to submit the full final version of final thesis, final version, the corrected one, after format checking within 1 month from the date of Viva Voce. And then 2B, same thing, minimal correction. Okay, we give 3 months to the student for the format checking and submit the final versions. And then third category, okay, so this is major correction. So we give 9 months, major correction 9 months. Okay, 9 months. So your correction must be verified by the internal and or external. Okay, depend on the chairperson of the Viva Voce. Okay, 9 months. You need to submit the correction. Okay, sorry, not 9 months you submit correction. Within 9 months, you must complete all the assessment, and then you must complete the format checking and with the IPSIS, and then you submit the final version to the IPSIS lah. Alright. So re-examination, that means you need to re-examine again. So you need to sit the Viva again. Okay, so the amendment about 12 months. Okay, so this recommendation can only made twice. Okay, the student is allowed to submit thesis 3 times. Okay, this recommendation cannot be made on the third Viva. So that means the first Viva you get category 4, second Viva category 4, the third Viva, if you get category 4, you will get dismissed. Okay, so make sure the third Viva you get 3 and below, not 4, category 4. Okay, category 5 fail. Okay, so you're not eligible to be considered for the master or doctoral degree, and you're not allowed to resubmit the thesis for examination. But you are given 30 days to appeal, not to resubmit the thesis, to appeal to the IPSIS. Okay, if you fail the Viva Voce. Okay, plagiarism. In the event of plagiarism, okay, the Viva result is deferred, okay, by the Viva Voce committee. This case will refer to the university board, and because maybe some of the cases, the examiners detect that your thesis has been plagiarized more than 30%. Okay, so the university board have some committee to investigate the issue. If you are found guilty, then you get dismissed from the UITM. Okay, so the thesis correction and verification. So post-viva process announcement, the student are required to submit thesis correction within stipulated time. Okay, so check again your ranking. If you get rank 1, 2 weeks, rank 2, 1 month, rank 2A, 1 month, rank 2B, 3 months, okay, rank 3, 9 months, okay, rank 4, 12 months, and then rank 5, there's no, because you have been failed from the Viva. So if student will given DV if you fail to submit the thesis within the stipulated time. So you might check again your duration to submit the correction. Okay, so this is infographic to help you to understand. Okay, timeline for the thesis correction. 2A, Viva. Okay, Viva, from the Viva to the student supervisor. So you need to submit correction 2 weeks. So you need to get announcement from the supervisor and then do the format checking. Okay, and then do the hardbound 1 week. Hardbound means the soft copy. Okay, soft copy to the IPSIS. 1 week. So total 4 weeks. And then for 2A, okay, this is 2A. So this description, so student complete within month 1. That means you has been corrected everything. Okay, you complete everything within 1 month until the final version. Okay, and then supervisor need to thesis content and checked by the verified by the supervisor only. And then KPPS will check the student status. And then final version the thesis will check by the IPSIS and letter approval issued by the Dean of IPSIS. Okay, and then 2B, okay, 3 months. Okay, 1 month from the Viva to the examiner, and then the examiner and to format checking 1 month, and then to digital thesis 1 month. Okay, and then 2B, okay, again, this is on the description. Okay, this is banned by the supervisor. The supervisor can endorse and the student thesis if require the text editing, formatting of table, and then KPS will check the student status and submit document to external internal examiner. And then the content amendment are endorsed by the internal examiner, and the final version of thesis checked by the IPSIS. Okay, and then major 3. So 9 months. So 4 months. Okay, we send to the examiner. Within 4 months, you must send to the examiner. And then we have the reminder 1, reminder 2, reminder 3. And then we have reminder the examiners. And then we format checking within 1 month and digital thesis within 1 month. Okay, so it's about 9 months. So make sure you follow these timelines. Okay, and then this is only the description. Okay, correction within 9 months. So again, so the thesis checked by the supervisor must be every correction must be checked by the supervisor and then checked by the internal or external, depend on the minutes of the Viva Voce, and then content amendment endorsed by the examiner, and then final version checked by the IPSIS. Okay, and then category 4, re-examination is about 12 months. Okay, 12 months. 8 months to send to the examiners. Okay, and then reminder 1, reminder 2, and then reminder 3. Okay, 1 month, 1 month, and then we use it for the revival again, another 1 month. So overall, up to 12 months. Okay, so this is description, 12-month correction. Okay, re-examination. So you need to revival again. Okay, so there must be verified by the supervisor, and then the content amendment endorsed by the internal and external, and then organize the revival. Correction depend on the revival result. Final version checked by the IPSIS. Okay, thesis result and endorsement. Okay, so once you complete your thesis, okay, complete with the correction. Okay, so this is the digital thesis format checking. Okay, so we have thesis submission and then format checking, and then you get the notification from the IPSIS, and then you need to submit the final thesis submission, and then your name will be update to the Senate list, and then you will get Senate endorsement, and then you can download the student completion letter, and then your thesis will send to the library. Okay, so you can check how to perform digital thesis format checking. All right, and right now we do not accept did not accept any hardbound, and we only accept the digital thesis in PDF. Okay, so endorsement and result. Okay, once your name has been sent to the convocation, so of course, the convocation office will issue the letter for you to invite in the convocation convocation ceremony. Okay, and then we got many postgraduate awards and recognition UiTM. First one, of course, GOT, Graduate on Time. Second one, Excellence Research Award. And then we have the MTDCA Books Award. And then we have the Anugerah Sarjana Cemerlang Tunku Chancellor Award. And then we have the Anugerah Chancellor Cemerlang Tuanku Chancellor AKTCC. And And then we have the
Ini macam mana? Ni? Kimi?
Anugerah Cemerlang Pendidikan ACP Alumni. Okay, for the APC, okay, APC award is given to the master and PhD graduates, okay, during the convocation. Okay, so and then the JCAP will check the applications and you need to apply. So you need to apply this award, and then JCAP will check the support the application, and then IPSIS will check again your application and then discuss in the JKIPA, and then Senate meeting will approve and then the application, and then the application must be submitted within 3 months from the Senate letter. Okay, what's the criteria? So you must get the GOT status, you must fulfill the GOT duration, and then the examiner give one category 1 or 2 in thesis examination and during viva voce, and then you not committed in a university and disciplinary act, and then you must has present a research work recognized by faculty. For the master, at least 1 conference, and then for the PhD, 2 conferences. Indexed by Scopus, WS, ERA, or my site. And then student must has published research findings at least 1 master or 2 PhD in index publications by Scopus or listed journals. Okay. So the Anugerah Sarjana Cemerlang to Chancellor. So these are given during the October convocation ceremony. Okay, so the Sarjana means only master program. Okay, so also you need to submit the applications and then verify by the jacket. Okay, and then the criteria. Okay, of course you need to fulfill for the GOT timeline, and then category 1, at least category 2, you get 1 or 2, and then not committed in university disciplinary, and then has presented at least 1 index conference, and then has published at least 2 index journals. Okay, so this is the requirement to apply the ASCTC. Okay, and then I fulfill at least 1 of these criteria. Either you have proven the commercialization, you have received the recognition, you have filled the pattern, or you have received the recognition. Okay, of course, your research has been impactful to research, and then pass the interview. Then you must pass the interview, and then you will get 7,000 if has been selected as the ASCTC recipient. Okay, for the AKCTC, this is open for the PhD degree and students. So same things, everything, same things, except for the publication. Okay, for the AKCTC has presented at least 2 index conferences, and then has published at least 3 index journals. Okay, so this is the specific criteria lah you must fulfill, and then the other things is same except for the price. It's about 8,500. Okay, for the ACP alumni, okay, it's given to them. It's open for the master and PhD. Of course, also during the October convocation. Okay, what are the others is same except for the criteria. So the student has presented research work at least 1 international conference for master and 2 international conference PhD. Okay, student has published 2 index journals for master and 3 index journals for PhD as the main author. All the publication you must become the main or first author. And then at least 2 criteria from here. Proven the compensation, pattern, or recognition or awards. Okay, so if you have been selected as a recipient, you will get 7,500 ringgit. Okay, for the anugerah, MTDC, Innovation Book Prize. So it's open for the Malaysian citizen only. Okay, not for international, not for the foreigner. Okay, only for the Malaysian. Okay, registered as a full-time student. Okay, if you are part-time, you are not qualified to apply. And then obtain examination result for 1 and 2 only, and then complete studies within masters not exceeding 6 months, 6 semester, and then doctoral degree not exceeding 12 semesters. Okay, so the research result have potential for the intellectual property. Okay, and then research output. Okay, maybe you have this is supported document you should have. You have the publication papers in high impact journal, or you have index proceeding, and then book chapter or other research excellent. And then the submitted thesis not necessarily technical in nature, produce process, method, ideas, policy, product that have high impact on innovation or technology. for the pre-commercialization, technology transfer, business entrepreneurship, and combination thereof lah. Alright, and then candidate also not committed in university disciplinary, and then if you have become the recipient, and you will get 1,000 cash prize and 500 book contributions. Okay, so again, so every semester you must look at your academic calendar in order for you to know when the due date. For example, the critical one right now is 25th of June. You have around 5 days for you to submit the research report. So please make sure you submit the research report to your supervisor. And then your supervisor also need to submit to the head of postgraduate office before 1st of July. So please act now. So please fill up the research program form, or you can remind your supervisor to submit to the head of postgraduate studies at your faculty or college, not to IPSIS, to the faculty or college, and submit before 1st of July. And then maybe later, if you want to submit thesis, so make sure you submit. Maybe you can check the next academic calendar, and you can check here the important date. All right, and then anything, so there are many news, the update information we provide in the IPSIS Padlet, in the IPSIS website. And you go to IPSIS website, and then you can click at the IPSIS Padlet. So everything, any information we dump here lah, and you can check the academic calendar, and then the any news on the 3MT and everything. So the postgraduate academic rules regulation and the UPTA and everything we provide in our IPSIS website. Okay, I think that's all from me. Any question?
Assalamualaikum, Dok.
Salam.
If may I ask, right, regarding about the examiner on for our Viva Voce, sorry, I not captured what you said earlier, but do we need to select who our examiner gonna be, or is it will be provided by the faculty, by the university? Yeah.
No. Okay, once you submit the intention to submit thesis, the notice of intention to submit by the students. Okay, one you have been submit the notice intention to submit, and then the head of postgraduate studies at the office, I mean the KPPS, will ask your supervisor who's the potential examiner.
Oh, okay,
Your
understood.
supervisor will provide the names of the examiners.
All right. Okay.
But those has been proposed by the examiner will screen out by the committee at the academic committee at the faculty level. Okay, once they fulfill all the criteria, then they will appoint them to become the examiner.
Okay,
We will
understood.
bring the domination until the university level at JKPA. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the
Okay.
clarification.
Right. Other question? You have right in chat box, not right? How do we get GOT plan through the Excel? Okay, you can get from the KPPS, Head of Postgraduate Office at your faculty or college level. Whom are not yet DRP, do we need to? Yes. If you are the active student, you need to submit research progress every semester. Doesn't matter you have the RP or not. Okay, every semester you need to submit the progress report. Otherwise, you will get dismissed, D10. Okay, please do right now, because the RP and the progress report is two different things. Okay. Other question? Okay, slide will provided by Dr. Mazwana after you complete these 2 days. Okay, no worries. And then other matters you can ask Dr. Mas regarding the RSS. Okay, Dr. Mazwana, I don't think there's any question.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Nizam, for your time. And should you have any inquiries, other inquiries, you can always put in the chat box, or regarding your research journey, your GOT research journey, just post it in the chat box. I will convey it to Dr. Nizam later. All right.